For today's project, we're going to need some heavy-duty aluminum foil, a canvas, and some really beautifully colored pour paints, all mixed with Floetrol and water. And this is going to be a great background for something I'm going to be doing later, so this is kind of going to be a part one. So let's get started. You can really use any kind of canvas for this. This is a round canvas. As you can see on the back, I sprayed it with water to make sure it tightens up. If you don't know that trick, if you've got loose canvases, spray them with water, put them in a warm place to dry. And I also have my aluminum foil, which is heavy duty. Heavy duty does work best for this, and it's bigger. So if you're going to be using a bigger canvas, you definitely need to use a bigger piece of foil. So I'm just going to rip off a piece of foil that will fit my canvas, and it needs to be bigger than what the canvas actually looks like it would use, because when you crumple it up, it's going to take away some of the size of the foil. So just a little heads up on that. Let me put this canvas away, and I'm going to unfold the foil. That is a tongue twister. You want to be very careful not to rip the foil. Even though it's heavy duty, it can still rip, and you don't want that to happen because then all your paints are going to go through. It's going to take me just a second to very carefully get this unfolded, but let me give you a brief history of what I'm doing. The foil dip, the first time I ever saw it was probably with Jilly Cube. She's a wonderful Australian pour painter and artist. She loves to do her balloon kisses, and she turned me on to this. This is a lot of fun. You can also use bubble wrap for this or anything with texture, but I am going to be using foil because that is easy and very handy. I can just pull it out of my kitchen, literally. So this type of pour painting is very accessible, and it's great for beginners, and most importantly, it's a lot of fun. So once you do it, you'll kind of get addicted to it. So I'm probably going to be doing several dips, so stay tuned for all of those, and then I'm probably going to use my extra paint. If you know me, I like to use all of my paint up. I won't say I don't, but I rarely waste paint or throw paint away. So now that we're ready, we're going to go ahead, make sure that our canvas fits the foil, that it didn't get too crinkled, and it does, so that's good. Now what I'm going to do is lay down a little bit. This is some pre-mixed white paint. So if you have pre-mixed paints, you can do this with pre-mixed paints too. I'm just going to do a little outline with my paint so I know what my boundary is. It is going to take quite a lot of paint, I'm not going to lie, because you need to have enough paint down so that you can really cover the entire canvas. So now that I have my white outline, which you probably can't see very well, but it's there, I'm going to go ahead and start putting my paint down sort of in a circular pattern. So I am going to use my blue first. This is a turquoise blue from Liquitex. Everything is mixed with Floetrol and water, if I can keep from moving my foil. It is just a regular 1-to-3 ratio here. It's a little on the thin side, I would say, but any pour paint that's pre-mixed can be used too. I just use American Floetrol. You of course could use Australian Floetrol or Oatrol depending on where you are, and you can also use glue and water. I've never had a lot of luck with glue and water as my pouring medium, but many people do. I tend to just use American Floetrol, and I'm going to put down some colors. This is grass green. The other color I had was kind of a custom sapphire blue. And it doesn't really matter what colors you use in this. I am trying to use some very bright, vibrant colors. I had to remix all of my colors after I moved because I got rid of all of my old paint. And so these are all brand new, freshly mixed yesterday, ready for this video. That was yellow, and this is Amsterdam Sky Blue Light. So I have Liquitex, I have Amsterdam, I have Master's Touch, I'm sure, in there. I know this is just a pre-mixed white here. I'm just using that because I have my white in a much bigger bottle and I don't want to glop it on. I want to keep these fairly thin. I want an even distribution of paint here, but you can do it any way you want to. And this is a great color. I love it just popping through. This is fluorescent pink from Liquitex. Love that color. Add a few more, maybe a little bit of purple and a little bit of red. This is Purell red. It's a much brighter red than alizarin crimson. Sometimes I mix the two together. And I think I'm going to add some more turquoise back in there because I know what I want to do with this particular canvas when I'm done. It is going to be part of something else, so I want to make sure that I have my turquoises, my greens, my blues really in the forefront. So I'm just going to add a little bit more in. And like I said before, you do need to have plenty of paint. Let's throw in a little bit of orange. Why not? Good fall color. You have to have plenty of paint because of the little ridges, the little crinkles. If you don't and you have a ridge that's not covered, then your canvas will not be covered. So it does take quite a lot of paint. So I am going to be doing several dips out of this same paint, even though I may add a little more paint to it between dips. This is back to my sapphire blue. It's actually custom between phthalo cyan blue and some Payne's gray. Little more yellow. We need that little pop. Yellow tends to kind of sink a little bit. Okay, now let's get ready to do the dip. This is the fun part. Let me get it in there. I'm always nervous when I lay this down. I'm nervous when I lay it down, and I'm nervous when I pull it up. So let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm filling in just a little bit more. I see a couple little gaps here or there, and I don't want those. So let's just make sure that's nice and filled in. A little bit more sky blue light in there. Okay, hopefully I have enough paint, and let's get this down. Here we go. Now I'm making sure that my hands are clean because then it gets all over the back of the canvas, and I'm really squishing it down. You can see how the paint really squishes out of there. And I'm just going to keep on moving it around, which is probably a little bit of overkill, but I want to make sure that all of my canvas is covered. So I'm using my hands in the middle, and I'm also kind of moving it around on the sides. I shouldn't jiggle it, but I'm always afraid I'm not going to get enough covered. So I'm just going to push, 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 push. It's very simple, but sometimes there's a little bit of a method to the madness. Now, once I'm sure that I've pressed this down enough, then we're going to remove it. Do you think it's covered? I just hope it's not too muddy. I could pull it straight back. I think I'm just going to pull it from the side, and there it is. Okay, let me get you in a better camera, and I think I'm just going to clear this off really quickly so I can get this actually under the light. And I'm going to give it a good torch. I had to lay it over here on the side. And now you can see it. The red really came through on that versus the blue, but here it is. I like it, but we're not done. I think we can get some more blue. So let's work on the next one. I'm just going to refresh my colors just a little bit. They're kind of gloppy and they're a little bit muddy, so we're going to fresh them up with some yellow and some sapphire blue, and I'm definitely going to be putting some turquoise in this one, lots of turquoise, and also green. So I'll leave the turquoise probably to the last just to make sure it comes up top. But we'll go ahead and get lots of pretty turquoise there. Now notice I'm going to be doing a much smaller canvas, and this one is going to be a rectangle. So yes, you don't have to do a round canvas. You can do a rectangular one. And this one is pretty small, but I think it'll fit here with the amount of paint on the sides, and the corners could be kind of interesting. So I'm just going to smush, smush, smush. And I'm not going to over smush this one. I smushed the last one too much. And if you smush too much, you tend to get kind of muddy colors, and you don't want that. So word to the wise, don't squish too much, but squish enough. Does that make sense? Anyway, so I'm just going to squish it in. Okay, I think we're ready, and I'm just going to lift it, trying to figure out the best way to get it off. And there we go, straight back on. Oh yes, how pretty. Oh, I love the colors in this one. I'm a big fan of blue. If you watch my channel, I'm liking the blue here. So I'm going to just give it a quick torch, and I don't advise you holding it like this. I'm not being that safe, but okay. We're good. Now let me get you a close-up of this one. My lights in here, I've still not got them right, but here is what it actually looks like. I feel like my other camera is sort of fuzzy, and this one really shows the colors and the clarity. Look at the pretty cells in this one. Just love it. I like this one. This is kind of what I wanted for the other one. I'm really liking our dipping pool colors here. I think I am going to pull a skin off of this. And yes, this is kind of jank, I know, but I have just put a piece of freezer paper over a canvas I was working on. It still has the feet stuck to it, but I was like, worst comes to worst, I can pull it off with the feet. Just gonna add a little bit of turquoise blue here. And I'm just going to dip it. If you've never done this before, you can create skins like this. Maybe I'll do a video on doing this. And I'm just going to pull it off. I think I can grab the sides here, just pull it right off. And let's see what kind of skin we get. Oh yeah, look at the colors on this. I've got a little hole in the center I'm going to fill in real quick with my finger. Just kind of move it around a little bit. And here it is. That was quick, simple, and so gratifying. So let's see what I've done today. I've done 3 different ones today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and check out these videos if you want to see more. Thanks for watching. Bye now.